Hi everyone, it's Nigel Giam, the lead GP Training Program Director for the St Mary's Scheme and Course Director for MentorMRCGP, joined by the lovely Bussy. I'm just going to put Bussy down. Okay, so we continue with our Mentor RCA success interviews with one of my own, Shafaq, who I fondly refer to as one of my daughters, as I've taught her for a very, very long time since medical school. Do listen to the interview, and specifically the concept of the second golden minute, which for my registrars and everyone that I teach is really the RCA game changer. Hope you enjoy the interview. If you do, then do join us on the Facebook support group, and also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Our next Mentor RCA flagship course will run on the 8th of July for the September sitting, and then we will be converting to the SCA. So if you're doing the RCA this coming autumn, then do join us for this course. It will be the game changer and it will help you pass. All right, take care and big love. Hi everyone, it's Nigel Giam, the lead GP Training Program Director for the St Mary's Scheme and Course Director for Mentor MRCGP. We're continuing with our ST3 RCA interviews. I'm really happy to have Shafaq on. Shafaq's one of mine at St Mary's, and myself and Shafaq, we go back some way. Welcome, Shafaq. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Do tell the audience, how far do we actually go back?
All the way back to medical school. You taught me when I was at King's, so GKT.
Oh,
So that's where I know you from,
yeah,
Nigel.
absolutely. And I sort of fondly refer to Shafaq as one of my GKT daughters, and she's recently smashed the RCA with a mammoth score, 194. Amazing.
Thank you so
So
much.
do tell us a little bit about your RCA strategy and how you approached it.
Of course. So I think I probably first started thinking about it after you did a workshop for us on the St Mary's VTS scheme. So that was back in, I think, October, November. So I think I probably started thinking about it then, thinking about when I might want to submit it and kind of how to maybe approach the exam.
Mm,
And I mean, I guess it's the biggest thing I would say is what that I've learned coming out of it on the other end is that it's a marathon, not a
yeah,
sprint. And it took many months and adjustments in terms of when I'd want to submit it and things like that. And I would say the first few weeks, even months, were just about really honing my consultation skills.
yeah,
um, I started off with really long consultations, really unstructured consultations. So it was just about honing those, getting those to a stage where they were within the time frame of even, being submittable for the
yeah,
exam, let alone good enough consultations.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
I mean, 12 minutes actually goes quite quickly, and we're trying to obviously hit that magic mark of 6 out of 9. Now, we also had you do a really good performance on the Mentor RCA flagship course. And we talk
yeah.
about time management. We talk about the second golden minute. What did you learn from that in terms of a technique, that second golden minute, to help you with your time management?
I think the biggest takeaway for me was I think when I first started, I was icing way too late in the
Yeah.
consultation. So the biggest thing about that second golden minute really is that it's for you as the doctor to
Mm,
really kind of explore those ideas, those concerns, those expectations of the
mm,
patient, so that you can then tailor the latter part of your consultation accordingly.
yeah.
It also kind of helps you avoid having to ask repetitive questions,
Yes.
things that don't need to be asked, because you've already managed to gauge those from the patient
Mm,
themselves.
yeah.
So I think that was one of the biggest learning points for me, icing early so
Yeah.
that you can tailor your consultation accordingly.
Absolutely. We do stress that actually ICE needs to be asked in context, but if you leave it too late, you can't actually do anything with it later on
Yeah,
in the consultation. And actually, if you open it up early, it might be a complicating factor, which is really good because it then just showcases a bit more complexity to your case. So just in terms of
definitely.
case selection,
Mhm.
how did you go about making sure that your cases were going to be up to scratch? Do talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. I guess that's where case priming really comes into play, because if you're not really spending, even a couple of minutes looking through that patient's notes, whether it's an e-consult they've submitted, whether it's an AccurX online consultation, obviously it depends on individual surgeries, but just having a look through, because that might give you some key information,
Yeah.
having a look back to see if they've consulted with regards to that problem previously, having a
Yes.
brief look at their past medical history, their medications, but also avoiding over priming and not going
Yeah.
in consultation with your own agenda, and really utilizing both that first golden minute with the patient, but also that second golden minute of you exploring their ice as well.
Yeah, excellent. So we've highlighted these two really important things: case priming, not over priming, but making sure we know where we are in terms of the patient's narrative, and then opening up ice early. In terms of how many kind of face-to-face audios, video consultations you submitted, what was your kind of breakdown?
So in the end, I think my submission did end up being a bit more predominantly telephone, but it was 2 face-to-faces that were actually within the practice, so not video consultations, but actual face-to-faces. And then interestingly, both of those ended up being my pediatric cases and child health cases. And I think those showcase quite well face-to-face as opposed to telephone as a third proxy or third party consultation. But the rest of mine were all telephone. I had a number of face-to-faces, but I think it just ended up being better to submit in the end. But I think both have their, pros depending on the presenting complaint and the type of patient.
Definitely. I mean, I think with audio consultations, they're only going to work if you're able to commit to risk and commit to, the most likely differential. If you're kind of using the audio consultation as triage, unfortunately, it's not going to be a great case, because you're going to have to then bring the patient in and not before you make a commitment to anything. But yeah, you're right. Actually, pediatric cases for me, definitely face-to-face or at least remote video, so that you can showcase how you're talking with children and engaging children.
And it really displays those interpersonal skills really with the children as well. So that's the best way of showcasing that.
Absolutely. So it has to be the right modality for the right complaint, the right patient, and just thinking about those IP competencies. Shafaq, I'm so happy for you. What is the plan post CCT, my daughter?
Just exploring options at the moment, looking for, I think I'll probably end up doing a salary job, but after taking a good few weeks off, and also exploring other, non-clinical interests and other things I can do alongside that, because I think the best thing about finishing is that you have a lot more control and choices and options, which is really great.
Absolutely. Don't move too far away from our St. Mary's family, please.
I don't think I will be, no.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time. All right, take care.
Not at all. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you.